doing this for the streets, for the people, to teach, for a little bit of understanding, wisdom from experience. I don't charge for this, straight knowledge. I hope I can help somebody. I hope this can benefit somebody that's struggling or going through addictions or trauma or hatred or just going through something, just going through a phase. I think I got it. So it's two types of people in this world, good and evil, right? And this is Proverbs chapter 4, verses 14. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of the evildoers. Avoid it and do not travel on it, for they cannot rest. They can't rest until evil is done. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun. And this is John 3, chapter 20. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for the fear that their deeds will get exposed. So if you got people that will not rest until they do some evil, you have to guard your heart. I figured it out. Like, there's nothing wrong with you for loving too hard. There's nothing wrong for the people that have big hearts or the good people. There's nothing wrong with that. You are perfectly made how you are. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when these evildoers come in contact with the good-hearted people. When they come in contact with the good-hearted people because the evil ones haven't healed yet, or maybe that's just what they do. They get a thrill. Some people get a thrill off doing evil. Some people get a thrill off of lying and setting people up and you know, stealing and all sorts of crazy stuff. Some people get a thrill off of that. It is what it is. But where I was wrong at is I put my feelings into it, expecting, you know, everybody to be good, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just have expectations. You can't expect everybody to be like you. You can't expect everybody to do what you do. I think that's where it comes in, and then we go through a bad experience, right? I figured it out. Some people go through a bad experience in life. It might not even have nothing to do with you, right? And this goes for all bad experiences in life. A bad experience leads to trauma. PTSD, trauma, you know, also, I mean, it could have happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago, when you were a kid. That bad experience leads to trauma. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color. I don't care what religion. I don't care about your bank account, your degrees. This is a neutral topic. A bad experience leads to trauma. Trauma leads to bitterness. It could also lead to hatred. It could also lead to anger. A bad experience leads to trauma, leads to hatred, anger, bitterness, if not healed or resolved, right? Which then turns into addictions. Trying to cope with it, right? Trying to cope with it, so we flush it down with liquor or drugs. You know, addictions are addictions, y'all. So the fact that this person is doing this or that person is doing it doesn't matter. They're all addictions. You put them all in the same boat. That's like an alcoholic talking about a crackhead, or a crackhead talking about somebody that does this or somebody. It's all the same thing. It's an addiction, which will eventually lead to fill in the blanks. That addiction will eventually lead to a bad decision. And that bad decision, after the addiction leads to a bad decision, and that bad decision leads to sickness or death. All stemming from that one bad experience from the beginning, right? And when I say sickness or death, sickness can mean many things. It can mean a mental illness, spiritual, or physical, if not resolved. That's why I don't talk about the stereotypical, stuff. This is real life stuff, right? Let me say that again. Bad experience leads to trauma. Trauma leads to bitterness, hatred, or anger, which in turn leads to addictions to cope, which in turn leads to bad decisions. Bad decisions leads to sickness or death, mentally, spiritually, or physically. So, how do we solve that? Self-love. Self-love. Proverbs 4, chapter 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your heart's one of the most important muscles in your most important organs in your body. The evildoers don't have that. You can't blame them for not having that. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes it understands and will soon prosper. So we can't keep making the same mistakes. We can't keep doing the things that hurt us, y'all. Some of us going back to the same people that keep hurting us, and you keep getting the same result, or going to the same spot, or going to the same area, or you dating the same kind of man, or dating the same kind of woman, or, so you got to switch it up. Self-love. Love yourself. Get to know yourself. Forget all that people-pleasing stuff. Forget all that. We all raised to be nice, but forget all that people-pleasing stuff. Love yourself, or put yourself first, Take a fast. Do a 30-day no people-pleasing a month. A 30-day switch up your diet. Switch up everything. Let's do it. Let's do it. Start off with 30 days, because everybody's not as strong. Or you can do 2 weeks where you just don't even say yes. Whatever you feel, do it, right? Let's not eat meat for 2 weeks or eat meat for a month. Let's just do a full total detox to solve this, right? A fruit fast, repent, reset, renew, recharge, everything, and see how that works for you. And also, the past is in the past, right? And today's the present. We have to keep ourselves grounded in today. Every time we go back to the past, it hurts. It's like a wound, right? What happens when you peel back a wound? When that wound's trying to heal, it bleeds. Going back to the past is like peeling back that wound. Every time you peel back that wound, it's gonna bleed. Unless you're a pain freak, Unless you're a pain freak, the only way to heal the past is to let it heal. Let it heal. And the people that go back to the past, you must want drama. You must want to think about. You hurt yourself, right? You hurt your heart. You hurt yourself when you think about the past. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, right? But these are some steps you can take to heal that wound. And this goes for anybody, And nothing's wrong with you for loving. Sometimes we love and get hurt, or a bad experience hurts us. But repent, reset, renew, recharge, heal, fully heal, and then you'll be a better person for yourself. Because if a bad experience leads to trauma leads to bitterness, hatred, anger, we're gonna take that, and you know what they say: hurt people, and everybody's gonna just be hurting. Everybody's just gonna hurt everybody. Just make the world a horrible place. And by the time you know it, you know where that leads or where that ends up happening. If everybody's just hurting everybody, right? So self-love is the key. Love yourself. Get to know yourself. Take yourself out on a date. Peace, love, and light. Stay true.